Well, with me today from the GRF board, I was going to say Robert's Rules, because that's what I'm used to seeing Joan Milliman. She is the secretary of the GRF board. And, you know, speaking of Robert's Rules, you know, you keep people in line on the GRF board. You did yesterday. There was a question about something, and in fact, they were talking about the landscape committee, if I'm not mistaken, that they may look at making that more into a task force with the other mutuals. And you were saying, well, that part has to go back to the committee to decide, then bring it to the board, or whatever may happen with that.
Right.
And Joan was like, no, you got to do this. All right.
Well, people may wonder why we weren't there on Tuesday,
yes.
And because the boards are doing long-range planning, and this is the first time all the boards and the staff have worked together on long-range planning.
Yeah.
And it's just a start. So it was an all-day affair on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So obviously we couldn't be there too.
Right.
So on Wednesday we had our board meeting, and one of the first things that came up was an approval for staff training day on August 14th. And this again is another first, so that the Recreation Department facilities, except for golf, will be closed for half a day, August 14th. So that the staff can get together and have some training. So I think that's going to be very interesting.
Okay.
And 'tis the season when candidates are going to be looked for on all the boards, and we're hoping that if you're interested, you will apply, because we have a great need and an interest in having residents participating strongly with our board, you know.
Now on the GRF board, are there going to be some openings there? I know there'll probably be at least
there
three,
will be.
right?
There'll be two, maybe. You know, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, every 3 years we serve, all of us, for 3 years at a time, and every 3 years 1/3 of the board turns over. So in all the boards.
Yes.
So I'm hoping you will check out the applications and so on. GRF just approved the election schedule for us, and the new inspectors, which are now Unilect. It's a brand new company. The old company has retired.
Oh, they have.
So
that was what was that called? Chapman, right?
Martin and Chapman.
Martin and Chapman, yeah.
So they've gone out of business, and now we have Unilect.
Okay.
So
that sounds like a bigger company that's used to doing this for many different entities.
I have
with a name like that.
Yeah,
you know?
It does.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. And then one of the things that came up, which will be brought up again, it's on 28-day notice. So we talked about the idea of a resolution to add on citations that are not eligible for traffic school. And because there are so many, I'm going to tell you the ones that are eligible.
Okay.
So they include speeding, failure to stop, failure to yield the right-of-way, known turn signal made, and left of center, that is, over the center line.
Okay.
And those are the only ones that are eligible for traffic school. Everything else, including things like hit and run, valid driver's license not produced, reckless driving, headlight violation, so on. There's a long list of violations that are no longer eligible for traffic school.
Okay.
So you just have to pay the fine and go to court and do what you have to do. As you already mentioned, they're moving the air conditioning to the roof this weekend, and so this building will be closed for Saturday and Sunday.
And as I said, they're out there right now. The units, I don't know if you saw them, they're in the staff parking lot. And each one you could probably park a car in. I mean, they're all full of equipment inside, but they're as big as a one-car garage. They're massive.
They're huge. I understand they came from Mexico.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's going. Don't come and look. You know, it's that we're not inviting a crowd scene.
No, it's just
quite the opposite, because it'll be dangerous to be close by. They're so big, and things can happen, and we don't want people here to get hurt.
Now, I mentioned that there's going to be no parking here beginning late Friday evening, 10 o'clock. Yeah. I would think they're going to start cording off things.
Right, you won't even be able to get up here. Is that going to interfere with Jersey Mike's and all of that, do you suppose?
I would think not, because that's on that side. I think it's, from what I understand, it's surrounding this building. Yeah. So think of it like 2 spaces each direction, and probably like 50 feet around the building at
Yeah,
least.
At least.
Yeah, so you'll still be able to get to the other
Yeah,
places.
you don't want to be in the way in case they drop them, you know. Just,
No.
no, never mind.
No.
Bad joke. The gates are coming right along.
Yeah.
As the group may know, gates 3 and 7 are now open.
Right.
And this beginning Monday, gates 1 and 9 will be closed. So be aware and use alternate
Right.
entrances and exits. And if you aren't aware and you come up against it, you'll find out.
Okay. Yeah,
You have
you
to
will
stop.
find out, yes.
One of the things that is coming up, we're going to have realtor tours in addition to the docent tours, and the residents will now have some special tours for realtors by themselves because they often have questions that they
Right.
need to ask and for different information.
Okay, now was this something that was done years ago?
For realtors
Yeah.
alone, it may have been.
Okay, it seems to me there
There
was
something
many years
like-
ago.
Yeah, a long time, but they're reinstalling it now. So
Yeah, I
the
think it's a
realtors-
great idea because
Yes.
you know, especially somebody who's maybe new to being a realtor or new to this
Right.
area, to come in here and really find out the differences of the different mutuals and everything that goes on. It's complicated, and the
It
more
is.
tools they have, the better.
And the more they know about the rules and regulations,
Right,
about
right.
better they can pass on the word to
Yes.
the new residents.
Yeah.
I want to remind everybody, speaking of gates, I'm back to the gates now,
Okay.
to be sure you get your RFID sticker. Otherwise, you won't be able to get in and out of those gates so easily. You can still get in and out, but you have to go to the gatehouse to be admitted.
Yeah, and that's
So
kind of a hassle for
It
everyone.
is,
So
and the stickers are a one-time charge of $25.
okay,
And you can get them right here at the community center. So I want to be sure that you do that. And by the way, the gates have an override system. If electricity fails, they will still work.
okay, that's good
So
to know.
that's good to know because why did we install the gates?
Yeah,
It's for security
Right.
and for safety. And so just so you know.
okay, very
And then
good.
one more thing that we discussed for the disaster preparedness is still looking for captains, for neighborhood captains. And we don't have enough people yet to cover the entire village. So a good neighbor training is coming up June 6th from 10 to 12 in Clubhouse 7. And they have other training classes as well.
Okay.
But that one in particular, I urge you, if you're interested in becoming a captain, please come. We need you. And if we ever have a disaster, people are going to have to report, and we need to find out where people are and what they need. So please
All right,
come.
very
And
good.
That does it for us.
Thank you very much for coming on. Always
Okay.
good to see you, Joan.
Nice to see you.
And
too. Thank you.
and we'll see somebody from GRF next month, and we'll see you
Robert's
pretty
rules.
soon.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't
Okay.
know, I forget the exact date, but she'll be on again. All right, we'll be right back.
Thank you.